Alright, there's going to be a new update that is available on the test server, which goes over the tutorial world and a new revamp. Now, I'm going to be giving some of my early opinions because I did not expect this update in the first place, and just going to be just talking about a little bit on the quest line and the update in general. So, if you don't care about any of my opinions and just care about the actual quest line, timestamp right there, just go ahead and just go directly right there. For those who didn't skip my opinions like I'm some sort of ad, I'm going to be talking about some of my opinions on the questline and the update in general. And this is going to be kind of meh. Obviously, much better than some of the other previous tutorial worlds that we've been getting over the past couple of years. It definitely feels more cohesive, it feels better into the beginning Q-Sleep questline, but it's quite short. Also, one more thing is going to be, like I just mentioned, I did not expect this update, but doesn't this update feel kind of out of place? It literally just feels like they just forgot a very specific part of an update and they just drop it in as an extra update or something like that. Like, I get it, it's a revamp to the tutorial, it's a good thing, but considering all of the stuff that is going on with Trove right now, and the obvious problem, especially that we got over the past couple of updates, I feel that this wasn't the time to drop this, or at the very least, drop this while ignoring some of the obvious problem. For those who don't know what I mean by the obvious problem added in the last two updates, Rising Titan released the bullshit. Kraken, I get those two mixed up. But yeah, I will be just talking about what are going to be some of the obvious problems. Number one, Mystic Gear sucks. It's too expensive, very little stat increases, and I don't want to hear from PC players just going down, oh yes, no, the resources are easy. Mystic Gear is easy because you had this. Try to grind it by yourself without doing any of that, and trust me, it is a nightmare and a half. Second, why do we have regular dungeons like 1-star, 3-star recipes, and even 5-star dungeon geotopside in long shade? Not to mention, why do we have biome rotations in the first place if everything is going to revolve around a new 5-star dungeon that spawns in every single biome anyways? So there's no point in just adding all of those biomes and just adding all of those dungeons if you're going to do essentially just one dungeon that spawns in every biome. Third, why there's still like 14 different types of plants that go into your regular inventory and still limited to 100 and serve for very little purpose. They really just take inventory spots for the most part, and you only just end up using it for like a couple of crafting, that's it. These are just worse moonlight balls that you cannot do anything about it because they spawn literally everywhere, and if you're just running around, you can literally just get some of them just drop in and they will take inventory spots, and they are annoying to deal with. In my eyes, they should go into your materials inventory and they should not have a limit. Fourth, why can you only upgrade 2 skill tree in the rune anvil when 2 out of the 4 skill tree are just flat out better than the other 2? One of them literally grants you more resources for the Mystic Gear, and the other one just grants you more rune fragments for the nodes. So literally those two are the 2 things that you need the most. So the other 2 skill trees are just kind of meh, and just limit the players to only 2, I don't feel it's just a good idea. Fifth, why do the majority of the runes only activate when they break? A lot of the effects are just not good enough to warrant the resources that you do spend in order to get those effects. In my own personal opinion, they should just work similar to Discovery Node or Rune, where you just equip it and you immediately just get the effect. 6, the new Delta biome sucks. Underwater physics are a nightmare, especially when it is depth of 170 with slow fall, while more than half of the enemies are long range, hit like a mother and both knockback and damage. And considering how much it is shoving in, like right there, especially after release the Kraken, you can quickly see that it is just not fun to deal with. And 7th, like the clan damage reflex sucks. It gives you very little time to react, and the only consistent counter is going to be the unyielding emblem, and well, it's an emblem which just makes you run pretty much all the time unyielding damage emblem unless you want to get deleted, and sometimes you get deleted anyways even if you do have unyielding emblem. But anyways, you get the point. There's a lot more things that I could just talk about, and adding a new tutorial world while these problems are going to be right there that were just added in the last 2 updates alone, where more like Rising Tides added the majority of the update, but obviously Kraken added a little bit more, just added more to the same problems. You can quickly see why it just feels a little bit out of place. Anyways, those are some of my opinions. Now let's start talking about the tutorial revamp, which goes as follows. You can access it the same way that you would access the tutorial world, just via the atlas or just by typing /tutorial. And you can get out of that tutorial world just by going into the hub. And once you do enter, you're going to be entering into a small medieval highlands world where you can going to be finding Q-Sleep. Pretty much all of the step of the questline is going to have a purple exclamation point above the objective, so it is going to be very easy to spot. Once you actually interact with Q-Sleep, you're going to go to your right and you're going to see a new crafting bench. Interact with that crafting bench, and that crafting bench is going to have 1 crafting recipe. That crafting recipe is going to cost 7 sunlight bulbs. Then all you need to do is just grab 7 sunlight bulbs, go back into that crafting bench and craft the only item that you do see. Once you actually go over there, you need to find yourselves Sebastian. I found mine just southwest of the Peaceful Hills, and I actually just found Sebastian right over there. Once you actually find Sebastian, it will teach you about mining, where you actually need to mine some shapestone. Mine 8 shapestone. I would recommend to mine at least 18 if you're a new player, and you go back all the way back to the spawn, or you can just use one of the 5 origin portal potions that it actually gives you at the beginning of the questline. Just throw it down and just use the portal and you will go directly to the spawn. After that, you go into the other crafting bench where you actually craft the second recipe that you need in order to get yourself Slow Sebastian. Once you actually do that, you get yourself Slow Sebastian, which right now grants 50 mastery points, which is kind of interesting. It used to not grant any mastery points. Now it grants 50. And once you actually just get Sebastian, you just mount the Sebastian. You can mount any mountain and it will count anyways. Then after that is going to teach you about cornerstone and how to find them and how do they look like. Once you actually just find the cornerstone, which is going to be the plot with the sign with the question mark, and once you actually just go into the cornerstone, you'll need to interact with the novice crafting bench. And once you do interact with the novice crafting bench, you should be able to craft the barbershop, which is the very first recipe on the left. It costs 10 shapestone. That's why they mentioned that you need 18 shapestone in total if you're a new player. And then once you craft the barbershop, just plop it down whenever you want in the cornerstone. And after you do that, then Qsley will tell you, hey, find me in the medieval highlands outpost. I found mine just going directly south. I actually found 2 of them. And all you need to do is just talk to Qsley in the outpost right there. Then it will teach you about dungeons and how to complete them. And you complete 1 dungeon. Once you do complete that 1 dungeon and grab the loot by destroying the dungeon chest, is going to tell you how to equip the gear that you just got. Once you equip the gear, you go back into the outpost and then use the loot collector, which is going to be how it teaches you about how the loot collector works. Once you actually loot collect, and then it will teach you how to equip a different style where you can just essentially just change the look of the weapon or hat or face without having to change any of the stats. One of the better things regarding Trove. And yeah, that's about it. After that, you literally tells you, hey, go back to the hub. And then once you do that, you get yourself the beginner wings, and that's when it should start the Qsley questline, which you can actually just see that it flows a little bit better, because once you actually go into the hub, that's when the Qsley questline starts, and it will tell you, hey, just complete more adventure world, complete more dungeon, check all the tables in the hub, dells, all the professions, which once you actually finish that, it flows into the other questline, the other side quest, like the Gemsley questline, which is important for gems, the Geode Cave questline, building, and all of that. As you can actually see, with the addition of this, it just flows a little bit better. It teaches you like the basics control, which tells you about adventuring, which tells you about delving, tells you about the other crafting bench, profession, gems. Like, it teaches you a little bit with the addition of this, because previously it just did not flow really well, and now it just flows a little bit better. And all you need to do is just essentially just keep following the quest line. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the whole update. Again, it feels really good for a new player, but in terms of like a quote-unquote new update, the new tutorial world is literally it. So to be fair, I personally did not expect this update to come out so soon, considering 2024 has been very slow with this update. With that, I just don't know how I feel about it. Obviously, it's good. New tutorial world is going to be good for the newer players, but I feel this is going to be something that the developers forgot to add as part of one of the previous updates, so they just added in later down the line. So I'm not going to comment too much on it. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. This is definitely something that will be added probably very soon on PC, considering that PC has been getting hit with cheating problems once again. I don't know how much that'll take, but either way, that's going to be the newest update. I don't think this is going to be the winter expansion. I do feel there is one more update down the line. Do feel this is just one of those like filler updates that they just dropped in randomly. I don't think this is the last update of 2024. I feel there is one more. So yeah, anyways, thank you everyone for watching. We're very close to 5.5k. If you want to give me an ego boost, don't forget to subscribe. Also, leave a like for recommendation, and let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Take care as always, and keep on hunting.